What up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome or welcome back to the channel. I am back with another reaction video. Now, this video is gonna come from none other than O'Shea Duke Jackson. Listen, O'Shea has been pumping out video after video after video on the No Fugazi podcast, guy. And baby, I ain't gonna lie, it's been quite hilarious. So I want to react to one of his videos because, you know, I think this is important, and it's no shade to the No Fugazi, but you got to call a spade a spade. You got to look at what's being said and what's being done, and look at what a person is saying versus what they're doing. So I just wanted to react to this particular video because I thought it makes pretty good sense to me. Just when I thought that, you know, this was kind of over with. No, there are still people who are making reaction videos after reaction videos. A lot of people see the discrepancies. A lot of people, you know, say that it's hypocrisy that he's doing, but he seems to disagree. He doesn't see it that way. He's the exception. His girlfriend is the exception. So I want to know your thoughts, but before you get into the video, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content, and let's go ahead and get into the video. Here we go.
In the spirit of giving. And No Fugazi podcast has given me a lot of content, which equals this. So ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. But unfortunately, as he's giving me content and other people around the internet, his career is going down the drain. Because stop, No Fugazi has taken another L again. David Cooley, aka No Fugazi podcast, took a big L this month in November when we all found out that he was in a relationship with a lady by the name of Sarah. Now, this is a public relationship on TikTok, so it wasn't like he was hiding it. But his brand, No Fugazi podcast, contradicts a lot of the things he talks about or what he does on Sarah and Cooley's TikTok page. While he talks bad on single mothers, we found out that guess what? Mr. David Cooley dates single moms. And guess what? Even if you have 2 white kids, he'll still go ahead and clap them up. Booty clapping sounds!
this dude is crazy as hell, but he's telling the truth. I mean, you cannot look over that. Even if you watch the channel, like I watched the No Fugazi podcast, I like a lot of his content, but at the same time, it is a contradiction. It really is. You're saying, oh, don't date single moms. You don't take them seriously. You only clap the cheeks. They're only for recreational use only. But you're not even wifed up, but you creating a family with a single mom. So that's a contradiction within itself. And I just thought it was a little cringy, and I'm just being honest. When he said he's the exception and so is his baby mama, baby, I almost lost my mind. I couldn't believe it. I almost like fell backwards. I'm like, I know you lying. What makes you the exception? And I think what he was trying to say was the fact that he was a single father because he has full custody of his daughter from a previous relationship, that he's the exception. I don't think that just because you are a single father makes you an exception to dating single mothers. It's a choice. It's a choice. Now, I do get the fact that if you think within your own self that, hey, I have a child and I'm a single dad, then I'm not going to discriminate against single mothers because I'm a single father, then I would get it. But that's not what he preached on his channel. There's the contradiction. If he had said, listen, I don't see anything wrong with dating single mothers because I'm a single father. Now, how could I be a hypocrite and say single mothers are obsolete when I'm a single father and I have my child full time? So that would be a contradiction in saying, oh, single mothers are for recreational use only. No, if you think and really believe that you're the exception, and how she's the exception, I don't know. But if that's what you really believe, then that's what you should tell your audience, so your audience won't be confused. Because I think if everybody overall would have known that you're with a single mother and you've been preaching the whole time, I don't have a problem with single mothers, because if that's your case, that's your choice. I'm not mad at it. You got to do what you feel is best for you, even if others don't like it. But it is a contradiction to sit here and say single women, they raise degenerates and they're only for recreational use only, and you're sitting up here with a single mother claiming y'all are the exception because you are a single father. That is crazy to me. And he was repeating it over and over and over, and I think he really believes that, but that's not how people see it. No, you're no exception. You're a single father, she a single mother. Just say you felt like it was okay. You was okay with dating a single mother because you're a single father. That's just it. Because there are a lot of men who have kids who don't date single women. And there are a lot of women who will date men with children if they like the man. So, and it goes back to that top tier thing. If you consider yourself a high value man, top tier man, whatever y'all want to call it, then you having a kid shouldn't be the determining factor of whether a woman would date you or not. Because most women don't really care about that. If you have one child or two, most women do not care if they want you. And if you are this high value top tier man, or you are 6'4", 6'5", and you're attractive and she likes you, she wouldn't care if you had a child. So having a child doesn't mean the exception is you got a child, so you automatically go get single mothers. No, it doesn't work like that. Lots of men of value who had a child or who was married before and had a child or had several children still get women who are not single mothers.
You can't handle the truth.
I'm just saying, but let's continue.
But now, David Cooley has taken another L because our good buddy Ty Boogie podcast came up with an interesting video that I had no idea about. One of you guys sent it to me, and I want to give credit to Ty Boogie podcast for putting this all together. 5 days ago, Mr. David Cooley.
Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson and Ty Boogie podcast. I'll see if I can put a link to his video because I'm very interested in seeing what he had to say as well. But let's continue.
Had a debate on his channel. He does it all the time. The actual name of the debate was called Cooley Unleashed the Wrath of Titans on Haters in Debate. It's basically like a smoke show, like Kevin Samuels used to always do, like once a week, something like that. All right. And then there's a guy who came up by the name of Fatty.
And my question today is a little bit different, right? How do you feel when you come on this podcast and you tell every single woman that they shouldn't sexualize themselves on the internet? And the top 10 posts that your wife has on her IG is showing her or her
Good question, Fatty. Why does David Cooley allow this? Before we go into David Cooley's response, let's check out what David Cooley has said about women who thirst trap.
Now, before we get into that, now I have seen, just like everybody else, I went to the TikTok page, and yes, she is, to me, she's posting thirst traps, or whatever y'all want to call them. Her boobs are sitting out, she's turning around, showing you her butt. Those are considered thirst traps. And so he's gonna play here what Cooley played on his channel and what his thoughts were about that. But somehow, when it comes to him and his baby mama, it doesn't apply.
Like, insecure men is when they have a problem with you posting yourself. I post myself not for other men, like for myself.
If it's for you, you would take a picture and leave it on your phone. But you post that picture so the world can see.
Right, but it's like, if my mindset is not for a man to see if he's going to try to talk to me or get somebody's attention, that's not what I'm posting myself for.
But generally speaking, men are the ones that approach women, and women don't approach men. So you always posting all the time, that's you advertising yourself. It would be the same if that man is still courting women. He's still pitching himself at other females. You wouldn't like that, right? If your man was talking to another girl? Okay, just like the man wouldn't want his girl posting thirst traps. It's the equivalent because women advertise themselves and men pitch themselves.
Now, he's making good points. And that's the thing. He's made good points in the past, but is that your true way of thinking? Is that what you really believe? Because what you allow in other circumstances when it comes to your girlfriend, your baby mama, it doesn't apply. So it doesn't apply to y'all, but it applies to everybody else. See, this is where the contradiction comes in, and it just doesn't add up. You gotta believe what you're saying, and you gotta live what you're saying for people to respect you and believe your content. That's a hypocrite. That's the hypocrisy that goes on everywhere. Let's continue.
Mr. David Cooley wants to be somewhat of I won't call him a thought leader, but he likes to be a philosopher. Men are the ones who are pitching themselves, and women are doing whatever the hell he was saying, right? Advertising. So women advertise and men pitch. Well, then while he's saying that, let's just look at a few of these photos or videos in the background. So here is Sarah Cooley. So let's look at Sarah Cooley. she's also a model and gets sponsorships by, huge brands like Shine and stuff like that. Okay? So if you look at this, this is kind of what I would consider to be, would you call it 304 wear? Would you call it revealing wear? I don't know. I would say that this is thirst trapping. Okay? In this particular clip, she has on a brown dress. Hey, she looks nice, okay? If you even look at her while she's pregnant, that's right, this is bump friendly. And now I would have a problem with my wife or girlfriend going outside looking like this, outside while she's pregnant with my child. This is thirst trap ready. Now, let's look at their most viral video. You see them, they're at a water park. And then here's Mr. David Cooley trying to cover her behind. Now, this might be a comedy show. This might be funny, but obviously, you can tell this could be an issue in their relationship because she dresses in a provocative fashion. Anybody else, if you were to see them out, you would consider her to be an OnlyFans model. In fact, she looks like an OnlyFans model. But that's just me doing the research. Shout out to Mr. Ty Boogie. But let's see what Mr. David Cooley says.
What you are doing, you are comparing my situation to my chick that she's already in a relationship with me, and me as a man in the relationship that runs the relationship that she follows, right? I allow certain things to be posted or not to be posted.
So Mr. David Cooley said that, hey, listen, I'm allowing her to do this, so all of those videos and pictures were approved. Now, wait, there's more. He then asks Fatty this because he won't let him talk or answer the emails. This is kind of what he does in the debates.
Yeah, and I watched some of the debates, and I'm just like, wow, it's not a debate if one person is constantly talking. Let the other person finish their thought and get their point out then. But, he seems to like cut people off a lot, and then he just click them out of there when he doesn't like what they're saying, and he calls them low IQ and all of this kind of stuff, which I think is very, you don't have to take that route. That's a very feminine thing to do, to call somebody, another man, low IQ. It's sort of like what they accuse women of, going to the shaming tactics. When they don't like what you're saying, they tend to, the shaming, the insults, and the guilt and need to be right. This seems like what he was doing, in my opinion. You're shaming people, calling people low IQ. It's unnecessary. Just have the conversation. If they agree, if you don't, you can defend yourself, of course, but let the person get their points out, then defend yourself. But to disrupt people and then start to say, oh, this is my show and you're low IQ, that says a lot about your way of thinking. He mentioned that he was raised by a single mother, and honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. Look, I was raised by a single mother, and so I understand the traits of being raised by a single mother. It shows whether you're a woman or a man. And if you don't correct that, and if you just keep going with that, it's gonna make you look crazy, especially for men. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Long arms people tries to flip the question onto them, not let them talk, kind of bully them. And this is what he asks Fatty.
Now, my question for you is, do you have a woman, Fatty?
No.
And why don't you have a woman?
Because I'd rather be single than cuffing a woman with 2 kids by a white man.
Okay, so...
That's right. Do you have a woman? What does it matter if he has a woman?
Right.
He's not on trial here,
right.
Mr. David Cooley. You are. You're talking about something that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. This is a guy who considers himself to be a debater or considers himself to be very intelligent. You see, the reality is, here is why David Cooley's white baby mama of 2 white kids, hold on, put the picture up there, Dima, we'll blur their faces, 2 white kids that he plays stepdad to, here is the sole reason why she can be a thirst trap, while he is telling everybody else that they shouldn't be a thirst trap.
So if you're gonna date a single mom, you gotta date one that isn't a stigma. But guess what? Stay away from the single moms. I still tell you guys now, because generally speaking, the majority, they have all of that baggage. I just so happen to be the exception to the rule, and so is my chick.
Baby, listen, that's what blew me right there. I don't agree that you are an exception or your baby mama is an exception whatsoever. Y'all are no different from anybody else. Just because you had custody of your child and you raised your child doesn't make you an exception. Like I said, there are lots of men who are considered high value men who have kids and they still can get the woman of their choice. My thing is this: if you have a view on something, have your views. I think everybody's entitled to have their views and their thoughts and their beliefs, and you're able to talk about it. But when your actions contradict your views, then that's when it becomes a problem. When people aren't low IQ because they recognize that. You're not an expert in relationships. And I think a lot of people forget that when they get on here and they start talking, and you got to realize you're not the end all be all of relationships. You haven't mastered relationships, and most people haven't, but you haven't been in a relationship and married to your woman and been with her for years and years and years to where you've learned some things. So nobody's a master at it. Everybody's just giving their opinion, and other people are allowed to their opinions. That's all I'm saying. You can't contradict the things that you tell other people. That is not how you lead people or give people, or direct people in a certain way. You have to be your own example of what you talk about. It would be more genuine to come out and say, hey, listen, this is what I think of single mothers, but I have a single mother. Make that clear. I dated a single mother. I'm with a single mother, but XYZ, she was this, she was that. So there are exceptions to it. Why so harsh on single mothers when you're dating a single mother and you're creating a life with her? And why say that single mothers are only recreational use when you've clearly moved beyond recreational use? You've created a family with this woman who was a 2-time single mother. That's the part that people have a problem with. Listen, O'Shea has taken this thing far further than I thought anyone would. He's still posted on this child, but I just wanted to chime in on this particular video. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. I'll put the link to his video. Also, the other guy in the podcast, I'll put his link if I can find that as well. But shout out to these content creators. Definitely go support them if you haven't already. And let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think of this? I want to hear your thoughts on it. Comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell. Y'all know what it is. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.